Hey everyone, I'm Mine, and this is set number 76171, Miles Morales Mech Armor from the LEGO Marvel Superheroes theme. This set contains 125 pieces, one minifigure, and retails for $9.99 in the US. Being completely honest, I got this set for one reason and one reason only. That Miles Morales minifigure. I've always regretted missing out on the original Miles Morales minifigure that came out a couple years ago. And ever since Into the Spider-Verse came out, I really wanted a version of Miles, so when this set was announced, I knew I needed it. The mech itself, though, judging by pictures, I didn't really care for, but now that I have it in hand, what do I think of it? To start off, just based on this pose right here, you can see you can get into some pretty cool poses. Like, this feels very natural, and I love how, the hands and the arms move. I love how you can make the mech look like it's shooting the web out and it's in the middle of motion. And the fact that the hands have so many fingers is really cool, because some bigger mechs only have 2 or 3 fingers, while this has 4 on each hand. While it's cool for posing though, it's not the best for play, and that's just the fact that it's such a small mech that it has so many little ball joints, so it's very flimsy and easy to fall over. Just trying to get it to stand in the correct position, right? There's lots of different ways this thing can move, and a lot of positions look awkward for it. One of the biggest flaws is the feet. They're very thin, right? They're only 1 stud wide. And because they're so thin, they don't hold a lot of stability. However, if you do get this in the right position, it can look very cool. The mech itself has this little cockpit that opens up here. It's got this Nexonage shield piece with Miles logo printed on it. This is actually a printed piece, not a sticker, which actually I really love. That's an awesome piece, and even if you're not into the mech, that's a piece that could be useful if you're making something else for Miles. I really like that. It's a very intricate print. I love the spider logo and then the red and the gray. Super cool design. The fact that it's printed and not a sticker is super appreciated. That opens up ever so slightly, just like this. And you can see inside, and that's where you can put the Miles Morales figure in. Close it up just like that, and there's what he looks like piloting the mech. Here's what the full mech looks like for the back. You can see these web pieces are all over. There's 2 coming out right here. There's 1 right here, and then there's 2 on the legs. Not bad looking from the back at all. I like that they covered up some of the anti-studs, though. Not all of them, right? Those right there are open. But it's quite decent as a whole. Moving up close there, you can better look at the legs. You can see it's got these little web pieces attached. It has knees in this mech, though. That leads to a lot more wobbliness, but it is cool to have the knees there so you can get in all kinds of different poses. And there's those feet, as I was talking about, very thin. The torso can actually spin on top of the legs, which is cool. Not 360 degrees, but it can go left and right, which leads to more different ways you can pose him. There's the cockpit up close. You can see that little piece right there. That's where Miles connects. We've got these little armored shoulder blades right here. Those are a pretty cool look. A little open stud right there. Not a huge deal, but that is something to point out. They use the gold bar piece in black right here. There's actually 2 different arm joints, so it actually has an elbow. And then there's a whole rotating wrist as well right here. The right wrist contains the shooting web piece, and it's connected with this little clip right here. You can remove that if you don't want it, but it is pretty cool to have that in a dynamic action pose. And there's 3 individual movable fingers as well as a thumb. Other side very similar with the shoulder blade piece, the open stud, and then you have this gold bar piece in black, but then when you come to the hand, there's no web shooting out. Instead, you have this larger web piece right here. I guess this could be imagined more as a shield for Miles, but then the other side of the hand is done exactly the same way. But moving on to the best part of this set, here is that Miles Morales minifigure. This guy does not disappoint. He is super cool and very well done. First off, I always gotta mention this, the printing on the eyes, super well done. White on top of black printing has been notoriously bad the past few years. It didn't used to be bad, but the past few years, the white printing has been way too light. This is the first time in a while I've seen white printing actually put on really thick, so the eyes actually look white and not just a dull gray. And that really makes this figure look great. If it didn't have that, this figure would just be mediocre. But this figure does look and feel very high quality, and I very much appreciate it for that. This is a version of Miles where he's not in his full spider suit, rather he's got a spider suit underneath his jacket. Sort of like in the middle of Spider-Verse, right? At the end of the movie he is just in the full spider suit, but at one point he does have the jacket on top of it. I like and dislike this. It would be cool to get a full spider suit Miles, however we have gotten that in the past. While I don't have it personally, this is an all-new version of him. And if you want him more in his spider suit, you can remove the hood and that still looks good, right? That's just him with the Spider-Man mask on. But the hood piece is very cool. It's very similar to the Ninjago movie Lloyd hood, except it doesn't have the hair coming out, so it's a more useful piece. And it's molded in dark red here. It's a very cool piece, and I like that a lot. You can see that torso print right there with the spider suit underneath with the black, and then the piece itself is red. Once again, very high quality printing. You can see the strings on his jacket are printed in metallic silver, which is super cool. And that spider symbol, again, that looks excellent. It's not as cartoony as the normal Spider-Man. Miles symbol looks a lot more intricate and realistic, and I like that so much more. Turning around to the back, you can see he's got his symbol on the back of him with just the Miles Morales spider eyes, and that's an emblem on the back of his jacket, and then he just has some general back torso printing to represent the back of the jacket. Very cool looking. This is honestly useful even outside of Miles. If you want to just have a character repping Miles logo, you could replace the hands with yellow or skin tone hands, which is cool. And then his legs, while unprinted, are dual molded, so that makes them look very cool. He's got black shoes and then gray pants. He also comes with this accessory of this little clip with this little bit of blue coming out, and that's so that if you want him to be shooting the webs inside the mech, you can attach them there. You can attach any of the web pieces, but I'll just use the big one that's coming out of the mech, right? So you can have him holding it out like that. And then moving them back out here like this, you can see what he looks like shooting out the entire web. It looks a little bit silly coming from him, but I think it's a nice inclusion. And obviously, if you don't want that, you can remove it very easily. Oh, and real quick, there's what the back of Miles' head looks like. Very similar to just the normal Spider-Man print, but in black and gray instead of red and black. So overall, what do I think of this set? Honestly, I'm very happy with it. As I said, I got this set for the Miles figure, and that did not disappoint. He is super high quality, very detailed, and looks just like the character, so I have no complaints there. The mech, though, was surprisingly decent. It has its flaws, right? I think the feet are too thin, and because it has elbows and knees, while it does allow for more posability, it makes it very flimsy, and I can imagine this being hard to play with as a kid. But you can get this in some really cool poses, and it feels like a lot more lively than most mechs, if that makes any sense. So as a whole, I think it is a very good set, and for only $10, like, there's not much reason to pass up on this. So I would definitely recommend this set. If you're a fan of Spider-Verse or Marvel or Spider-Man, it's pretty well done. It's not the best set in the world, but it's got an amazing minifigure and a pretty fun build, so no complaints from me. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please press like and subscribe if you're new. I do LEGO videos like this every single day, so if you subscribe, you'll be the first to see them. And if you want to buy this set, you can click the first link in the description. That's my Amazon affiliate link, and I'll take you to the Amazon listing for this set. If you buy this set through that link, it'll help support me at no extra cost to you, and I would greatly appreciate it. But that's about going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!